you, and good morning. I actually just wanted to thank the organisers and participants and esteemed guests of this prestigious investment event, and the PNG Chamber of Resources and Energy actually for the opportunity to present. So this is the first opportunity that I've had to present to this forum, and I really do appreciate the opportunity to present our brand to the audience. As the bio suggested, my name is Taumaia. I look after the operations for the group. But look, this isn't really about me. I actually wanted to call out some of the hardworking team who've been staffing our level 2 booth. So if you haven't visited the team downstairs on level 2, I'd like to just call out in particular Ben Casper, who's our head of lending, who's been driving the team and getting to know our various different customers and trying to understand exactly some of the challenges that SMEs and businesses are dealing with, so we can be in a better position to actually position ourselves to understand and put forward some solutions. I actually also wanted to call out Mr. Brent St. Hill, who looks after our properties division. So if you are looking for any properties related needs and demands in Port Moresby, Brent is the gentleman to see us on level 2. So the last 2 days have been phenomenal. It's been a whirlwind of opportunity, and have had the fantastic opportunity to listen to different projects in flight and in the pipeline for the country. I think following on from Dan, he's mentioned key aspects around small business and the opportunities that lay ahead. So it's fantastically exciting to see how small to medium businesses, which is a key customer segment for Credit Corp, will benefit from the resources boom. For us, the theme is around what we're doing to better support sustainable growth for SMEs in the market, in the resources sector in particular, both to and through the resources boom. As an overview of what I'd like to touch on in the next few minutes, I'd like to go through a little bit of background around Credit Corporation for those that may not be familiar with our brand in PNG and the Pacific, just to give you a big synopsis of how long we've been in the country. I'd also like to run through the local participants in this whole SME ecosystem and the sub-segments that we serve, and those particular segments that stand to benefit from the flow and effects of the resources boom. I'd also like to touch on, I guess, following from COVID, there's been some challenges that have emerged in the SME segment, how we are positioning ourselves to better service this particular customer segment from now and into the future. Importantly, there's overarching drivers that are influencing a lot of finance and banking industry changes, which are in response to SME customer demands. And I think the PNG banking sector is going through a lot of change. It's evolving. There's a lot of global challenges that are being presented, which are influencing a lot of the customer expectations. And so as an organisation, we are going through some major step change. You would have seen in the last 12 months, there's been a market announcement around our ambition to migrate from a financial institution to a commercial bank. So I'd like to touch on base, just to give you an update as to where we're at in terms of a status of the rollout of our transition, which in part is the reason why we've made some of these changes, is to better support the segments that we serve, in particular, the small business segment. So this presentation towards the end will touch on how these changes are ahead and how we're working through them. Sorry. A little bit about us. Credit Corp in PNG has quite a rich history. We've actually been in existence since 1978. And from the outset, we've always aimed to support economic development in PNG by offering accessible, flexible finance options with a particular focus on funding small business. In the late 90s, we listed on the POM Stock Exchange, which enabled expansion of our homegrown PNG brand to a wider customer base across Fiji, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and which has resulted in us growing our book to $1.5 billion worth of assets. This year marks our 45th year of operations in PNG, and it's a proud milestone for us because it reflects our dedication to supporting the aspirations of local business and continues to build our brand as a trusted financial institution that supports growth, builds resilience, and progress. Oops, sorry. Our customers in the resource sector are primarily in business activities that support mining operations. So they typically work in logistics, haulage, waste management to civil construction and IT services. It's generally a very broad segment that we serve. But a lot of what underpins our strategy is to build partnerships with local businesses, entrepreneurs, and landowner groups to bolster local participation. That's what drives us, and that's what we're about. For us, it's about sustainable economic development, job creation, and improving livelihoods in the local communities that we operate. And so we've been able to support a lot of SMEs across various different mining sites, which are highlighted in that page. Now, as with growth, there are also challenges that we are very cognizant of. As with growth, we are anticipating a lot of changes and challenges that go with growth. So COVID in particular has highlighted a number of key learnings around our approach to lending to SMEs, but more critically highlight elements that we need to focus on to build resilience to anticipate a lot of future SME challenges. The nature of the resource sector is cyclical and highly influenced by economic cycles. So economic downturns post-boom are challenges that we're very conscious of and factor in, particularly with our service offering. Financial literacy, as Dan had touched on earlier, providing access to financial education and training programs which specifically address the unique challenges of the industry are quite key. Things like effective cash flow management and financial management support are part of our proposition to SMEs. More critically, limited options. Because of the limited players we currently have, SMEs are facing quite a limited number of options and financing options and banking solutions available to them, which often risks less favourable terms because of reduced competition. What they are constantly telling us is the need to get some of the most basic banking fundamentals right. This is SMEs based on a number of conversations that we've had with them, they want fast and easy client onboarding. They want quick and transparent credit decisioning and low-cost transactions that are close to as real-time as possible. I'm not having much luck with this. So overlay this with the rapid global banking and particularly the proliferation of fintechs. Customer demands are changing in our SME set. There are many drivers of change that do create an opportunity for new players to deliver and generate greater value that benefit the market that we serve. In particular, there's a greater need for banking services, access to capital, There's room potentially for space and growth to provide more choice to our customers. Increasing customer expectations. Customers and clients keep telling us we need to diversify beyond our basic lending. Global influence is a regional offering. For example, the move away from cash and checks is something that we are constantly being reminded of. There is a need for speed to market products that are quick and responsive to a market need. And in particular, transparent credit decisioning. A customer needs to know at what point in time their application and the status of their application is. Third is a demand for digital. Expanding accessible digital offerings to win customers and improve accessibility and reduce cost to serve, and a potential move away from traditional bank and mortar is something that we are very focused on. And also, because regulations are becoming more complex, the nature of the operating model that we need to factor in going forward requires something that's more agile, more scalable, and more deeply connected to customers. Now, it's these customers and industry insights that have influenced our new operating model at Credit Corporation as we transform from a financial services organisation to a niche commercial bank. We know our SME customers, now we want to actually grow and grow with them. We're adopting a new digital-driven model and a proposition to expand connectivity and integration with small businesses. We want to develop different products and services that suit the markets and segments in which we serve. Now, our journey began when we received an approval in principle from the Bank of PNG. And from July 2023 this year, we commenced design and build of our core banking system and our entire integration project, which is positive because I guess from a banking organisation, we're unencumbered by legacy technology. This is just a little bit of our journey of how we've transitioned from a financial institution and where we need to be to go into for a bank. I won't labour on the detail, but there are certainly a number of key elements that we've taken and a holistic approach we've taken into consideration to get us to this point. Oh, goodness. This is just a synopsis of how we're rolling out our new bank. We've actually commenced our pilot, which is rolled out to our existing staff following a successful implementation of our core banking system. We will then extend this to our public, which is tentatively placed for early March, April, into the new year, and expand this proposition as we systematically test the sustainability of the system into new lending products and eventually foreign exchange. But what ultimately underpins a lot of our proposition and our new products and services is the digital platform. So I guess in a synopsis as to how we've gotten to this point, we received BPNG conditional approval for banking licence in February 2023 and board approval to proceed in June this year. We commenced our pilot on the 4th of December, so in 5 months, I'm actually proud to say that we've been able to successfully build our bank from scratch. With the pilot that we've commenced on December the 5th, our focus is on ensuring system capability for onboarding, account creation, and addressing quite stringent KYC requirements as required by BPNG. We want to ensure that we are compliant and aligned to BPNG regulations and frameworks. But And importantly, we want to test connectivity between us and other banks. We want to ensure that our internal systems are capable of managing inward and outward transactions, and that our processes are capable of managing customer queries. As of today, we've been able to onboard 250 staff accounts, all of which have been linked to Visa debit cards, which we've been able to successfully test across various different geographies and jurisdictions. In fact, I paid for my hotel using our credit bank debit card, Visa debit card. We've been able to roll out a new internet banking platform. We've successfully worked with various particular BSB and Kina to ensure CATS integration. So if you have a look and if you're banking, have internet banking, you'll be able to see Credit Corp. That's part of our pilot to ensure that our systems are robust, they're stable, and our domestic payments work the way they should be. But importantly, I think, as we're talking about this ecosystem of banking and the new emergence of what banking and finance could look like into the future for PNG, I actually wanted to call out BPNG in particular for supporting us to getting to this point. It's been a hectic but challenging and rewarding 5 months. And I also wanted to call out BSP and Kina because without working with us and together on integration, in particularly CATS, and testing that these payments are successful, we couldn't work together to ensure that we've gotten to this point. So it's quite important that we work together to ensure that things are working the way they should be. So 18th of March, that's where we're looking towards, because these products, and as a new bank into the system, is our public target go-live date. But this is just the beginning for us. Because we're small, because we're agile, what we're building is an ability in agility. We want to be fast, we want to be agile, and I think 5 months to get us to this point, hopefully has demonstrated our ability to get things done. We want to be a meaningful service provider with a product suite that adds value to our small business customers. But importantly, we're open to conversations. So we don't want to roll out products and services that actually don't mean anything to our market. So if you have any feedback and you want to tell us what you need from a small and business perspective around certain products and services that you need in the market, we're on level 2, so please feel free to drop by, say hi, and give us your feedback. Thank you.